Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. The Washington Commanders just beat the Houston Texans 23-10. They've improved to 6-5 on the season. So, gonna recap today's game, talk about some of the best performers, and much more. So, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I know someone who's watching isn't subscribed. Please go ahead and do it. It takes 1 second and it's free. It wasn't a beautiful game, but the Washington Commanders absolutely dominated the Houston Texans. It's not even close. Like, the score that, is displayed right here, 23-10, does not show the true story of the game. The Commanders in the second half took their foot off the gas, had multiple opportunities to score, and also they were kind of playing prevent defense at the end there. So Washington Commanders just dominated the Houston Texans in this game. There's no other way to put it. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. So they were up 20-0 at halftime. Just complete domination. I really wish they would have, not taken their foot off the gas. I feel like they did in the second half, both on offense and defense. More so defense in the last quarter, but the offense could have been a little bit more aggressive and try to score a little bit more. It is what it is, but that's just my thought. Heineke was all right, 15 for 27, 191 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Should have had one. That was an awful, awful throw that we are very lucky that Jalen Petrie dropped that. I don't know. We still, of course, probably win the game, but that could have been a game-changing play right there if Jalen Petrie makes that catch. But besides that, he did what he had to do, made some good plays, was a good decision maker besides that one bad decision. I thought he was solid in this game. Run game was okay. Gibson, 18 for 72, had an 18-yard rush at the end of the game there. Also could have had a touchdown, but slid down a little bit early. Brian Robinson, 15 for 57, 3.8 yards per carry, had a 14-yard run. They were both pretty solid today, getting close to 4 yards per carry. And then Curtis Samuel, 2 carries, 18 yards, and a touchdown. Had an amazing 10-yard touchdown run in the, I believe that was the first or second quarter. That was a great run. Just, he's been a great player for them this year. Dotson had a run, and then Heineke had a couple as well. And then receiving, Logan Thomas had a pretty big day. 5 catches, 65 yards. Again, all these guys, these were basically their stats in the first half. Because in the second half, Jahan Dotson didn't have a single catch in the second half. Cam Sims don't think he had a single catch in the second half. McLaurin did not, and Logan had one. So Logan had 57 yards in the first half, 5 catches, 65 yards on 6 targets. He looked like 2020 Logan Thomas. So I'm really, really glad to see that. And, maybe he was just the last few weeks just still not fully back from that calf and even the ACL injury. So it's good to see him looking like his former self, making tough catches and getting a decent amount of yards after catch. So thought he looked good. McLaurin was good, 4 catches, 55 yards on 7 targets, all in the first half. The thing is, 7 targets, again, it's a low amount, but they only passed 23 times, so that's fine. But a lot of those targets were throwaways or, just not remotely close to McLaurin. Antonio Gibson, they used him as a receiver, 3 catches, 31 yards on 3 targets. Again, would like him to get a little bit more targets. Cam Sims, 1 catch, 17 yards. Jahan Dotson, 1 catch, 13 yards. And he had the other one where people were mad at Jahan for not making the catch, but that's on Taylor. Taylor's got to make a better pass on that. If he does, Jahan catches it, and they might score a touchdown on that drive. And then Curtis Samuel only had 1 catch for 10 yards. So really hard to evaluate the offense because they really didn't do anything in the second half. In the first half, in the first kind of quarter, they struggled a ton, but then they broke through at the end there. So glad to see that for sure. And let's keep on going. So yeah, offense as a whole was okay. They were okay. They got to play better against other teams. At the same time, though, they took their foot off the gas. They could have had a touchdown on that last possession. Other times where they just could have been more, if they were more aggressive passing the football, they potentially could have scored more. But it is what it is. They scored 20 points in the first half, only 3 in the second half. And Heineke, and there was the one, and real quick, I didn't even talk about the offensive line. One snap that, it wasn't a great snap by Larson, but Heineke should have gotten it. That kind of killed him there. But he didn't get sacked once. The offensive line was pretty good. Lucas, I still don't understand why he's starting. They put in Sam Cosmi, looked much better. Sam Cosmi is so much better than Cornelius Lucas. Like, Cornelius Lucas was struggling. Leno got beat once, but besides that, he was good. The interior was good as a whole. Trey Turner got called for a holding, but besides that, it was pretty clean. So offensive line's been, much better since the beginning of the year with Wentz, and it's a combination of lower sack numbers, a combination of Heineke playing, but also Larson instead of Nick Martin. Trey Turner much better than he was in the beginning of the year, and just the offensive line as a whole has been playing better. So that's kind of my thoughts on the offense. Game balls on offense, I would probably go Gibson, 18 for 72. And could add a touchdown, also at 31 receiving yards. And I'll give Logan Thomas one, and maybe even Terry McLaurin a game ball as well. And then on defense, man, the defense was amazing today. Defense was amazing, and they scored, they allowed 10 points, but it's really 3. They scored 7 garbage time points. Cameron Curl was great today. Really good tackling, and allowed like 1 reception. Besides that, he was really good. One of the better safeties in the league. I know PFF has him as the number 1 safety in the league. We got to take PFF with a grain of salt. Bob McCain was solid. Had 1 QB hit where he just the O lineman just hit him back, and he was so out of the play. But Davis Mills, no pocket awareness, and he held onto the ball a long time, and Bob McCain hit the quarterback. He got beat a couple of times and missed some tackles, but he wasn't terrible in this game. Jamin Davis was solid. Kendall Fuller had a pick 6. Great start to the game for the Commanders defense. That's a huge. That's a great way to start the game, and I think Kendall Fuller, that was a great play. Had an interception there, had some nice tackles as well, and he did get beat a couple of times. He did. I can't remember who it was, but in the third, fourth quarter, he got beat a couple of times. But besides that, he was solid in this game. He's been really, really good the last kind of 4 to 5 weeks. Derek Forrest, man, he is special. Derek Forrest is special. He had 4 tackles, 2 solo tackles, had an interception. That interception, first off, great play by Benjamin St-Juste, kind of tipping it back. And Derek Forrest made a great play, shoulder hit it inbounds. That's back-to-back weeks with an interception. I believe that's his 3rd interception on the season, and he has a forced fumble. Also has a recovered fumble, had that in last week's game. So he's been great, and he just looked really good as a free safety. A couple times he made some good plays in the run game, tackling Dameon Pierce. So props to Derek Forrest, and props to this coaching staff for making the proper and necessary adjustments, putting Derek Forrest at the free safety, keeping Cam Curl at strong safety, and moving Bobby McCain to the slot. Derek Forrest gets a game ball for sure. And hopefully Benjamin St-Juste is good. He had that ankle injury, was questionable to return. They just didn't bring him back because it was a blowout. So he had a good game as well. Benjamin St-Juste looked good, and the whole secondary looked good as well. Jonathan Allen, absolute animal. He is an amazing, amazing player. Had 3 tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. Was amazing. Absolutely amazing today. Can't say, he's just amazing. And him and Deron Payne, best D tackle duo in the NFL. I don't really think anyone comes close. Aaron Donald is a beast, but who else do they have there? And then you go maybe the Colts with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, but I'm still taking Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen over those guys. I think, honestly, Jonathan Allen's better than Buckner right now, and you could even argue Deron Payne is as well. I believe they're both at 6. I know Deron Payne's at 6.5 sacks. I think Allen's at 6.5 or 7.5. Just great game by him. Getting involved in the run game, tackles for loss, getting QB hits, just absolutely demolishing Kenyon Green, number 59. And honestly, I was talking about this in the game today. I think that there should be, and there is probably, but I think it should be more popularized, a holding against penalty, because Jonathan Allen has gotten held so many times, and I feel like you should get recognized for drawing a holding penalty. For getting held, that is a huge play. You bring him back 10 yards. So Jonathan Allen drew a couple penalties today. He was a beast. Montez Sweat, great game, finally getting to the QB. 3 solo tackles, 3 tackles in general, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 QB hits. Almost had a 3rd sack. I don't know who got, I think it was Jonathan Allen who got credit for it, where Montez Sweat was about to get to him but kind of misses him, and Jonathan Allen comes down with the sack. But those guys combined for 4 sacks on the day. Daron Payne also another solid game. I mean, 3 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Had a batted pass as well, and a QB hit. So all around, great game for Daron Payne. Great game for the defensive line. Casey Tuhill. I don't know if he gets a game ball. I mean, honestly, he might even get a game. Like, if I had to give it to 5 players, I don't think he gets a game ball, but a lot of players on this defense get a game ball, so I'll give him a game ball. The whole defensive line. Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and Casey Tuhill get a game ball. 3 tackles, 2 solo, 2 tackles for loss. Just had a good game overall, especially in the run game. And yeah, I mean, he's done a really good job. Him and James Smith-Williams stepping in for the injured Chase Young, who might be back next week, which is going to help out this D-line even more. James Smith-Williams, solid once again. 2 tackles, had a tackle for loss as well. Got hurt at the end of the game, but seemed fine. John Ridgeway, he played well, but he's an absolute idiot, man, sometimes. Like, the penalty against the Vikings, which could have possibly cost us the win there. And then you make a great play. You stuff Dameon Pierce, I believe that was him, at the line of scrimmage. And then it was cool. It was a cool play. Smacking him down to the ground, picking it up, whatever wrestling move that was, suplex. I don't know. I'm not a wrestling expert. It was a cool play, but that's getting flagged 100 out of 100 times. So can't do that. He's an idiot, but he's also a good football player. Or he's a good rotational guy for sure. And then you have Efe Obada, who kind of helped Jonathan Allen on that sack, but I'm happy Jonathan Allen got the credit for that. And then Danny Johnson came in with Benjamin St. Juste out, and I'm trying to see any other things I'm missing. The 2 interceptions. Gibson had a couple good returns. Millen had a couple good returns, but 1 return, which really killed the average when he didn't fair catch, and he got 0 yards on that play. Joey Sly, 3 for 3, 100% on that. No tough kicks, and then 2 extra points. And then Tressway was solid, except for he did have that 29-yard punt. Commanders overall, great team win. I mean, Dameon Pierce averaged 0.8 yards per rush. They had 21 yards rushing. 21 yards rushing. 127 yards passing. Like, the Commanders absolutely dominated them. They had 340 yards the Commanders did, and the Texans had 150. Not even close. Not even close. So Commanders go to 6-5. I think the 49ers are 5-4, so I believe we're still maybe a little bit behind them. We'll see what they do if they win today's game. But yeah, overall, or I think it's tomorrow. Overall, great game by the Commanders. 6-5. This is the first time they're over 500 this late in the season since 2018. So keep it up. Win against the Falcons. Offense has to step up a little bit. No real questionable coaching decisions. I mean, Scott Turner at times was, a little bit iffy, but I'm happy with this team win, guys. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.